We are talking about the Super Bowl script, brother. And it's going to be about the San Fran Scapegoat. Somebody had to go.
Oh, yeah.
The Super Bowl script.
After 1 year.
Oh, man. After you look at all this stuff, everybody's a scapegoat. Anything bad happens, somebody's out. Because there's got to be a scapegoat for every situation. Because every situation that this happens in tend to be a scripted. Cut? Because he's a rookie. Why would he get cut? They would like. Why would he get
cut? I thought he was a scapegoat for missing an extra point.
He wasn't a scapegoat. He wouldn't get fired if they all knew what was going to happen. Why would he get fired if they all knew it was going to happen?
Then why is Steve Wilks getting fired?
Because they need a scapegoat. They need somebody to be like, okay, look, this happened. This was scripted. But we don't want you to believe it's scripted, so we're going to fire the scapegoat. But I didn't even name drop yet, MJ. I like to reminisce.
Excuse me. Stop. We're not talking about the whole stuff. We're waiting until Nate jumps on to talk about that.
Okay. So now that MJ name dropped, Steve Wilks is out of California. Okay. With the spot vacant, who is going to fulfill for the 49ers defensive coordinator needs?
Ooh. I have a name. I know it's not going to be popular and it probably won't happen, but I want to paint you a picture.
Paint me a picture, MJ.
Percy, Bruce, and Connor. Just imagine the one and only William Belichick says, hey, you guys have been struggling a little bit with winning lately. Who knows a little bit of something about winning? I do. Who knows a little bit of something about coaching incredible defenders? I do. You've already got the roster. You've got the offense, Kyle. Don't worry about the defense. I got you. Let's go win a Super Bowl together.
Wow.
Do you think he'd step on any toes, though?
I don't think so, no. No, I don't think he would.
I think he would. He's been in a head coaching job for years. Why would he just automatically flip the switch?
All right, real quick.
You're right, by the way.
No, you offered it. No, MJ, you offered it. Like, let's talk about this. I do like this. I actually do really like this. Because I had internally, I was like, oh, it'll be somebody inside the 49ers system because they're ranked 8th. They're ranked 8th in defense.
Yeah, and it probably will be, but continue.
But if Belichick ends up somehow going into San Francisco to find that coal mine in that 49ers, you know why they're called the 49ers, right?
Yeah, the
Gold Rush, baby.
Oh, there you go. See, everyone's
we're educated around here.
So that, I'm going to say, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Yeah. Dude, it'd be awesome to see him on that coaching staff. But you know what, though? The one thing that scares me, the one thing that does scare me about that, though, is the attention would be brought to him immediately as soon as he decided to take that, I don't know, job, take that task, take that whatever on. Yeah. And I don't think that he went into interview in Atlanta for the Falcons, and from everyone's, doesn't matter if you're like a big time ESPN, big time The Athletic, big time whatever, or little guys like TDT Media, we all heard that he wanted parts of the freaking Apple with regards to making decisions for the roster. All right. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but it would be a sure as hell fun story to see him be humbled, because I think he has, and be brought to a position, though, to be like, you know what? Okay, I want to win a Super Bowl. I want to win a Super Bowl. And what better area than go to the 49ers? Here's the thing, though. I think the NFC is a very competitive area. The AFC, okay, yeah, they have Mahomes. Like, let's just block that out. The 49ers are like, is Brock Purdy the answer at quarterback?
Seems to me he has been.
He has.
You want to say it, Bruce, or should I?
Or are you talking about like for future?
Is he the answer for a quarterback position? Yes or no?
No.
I think so.
No.
He threw 2 touchdowns. Okay, so I don't. All right, so
He went to the Super Bowl his second year as a starter.
Yeah, riding the
Jimmy
shit out of.
Garoppolo also went to the Super Bowl for that team. Is Jimmy Garoppolo the answer for an NFL franchise?
He was at that time.
No, he was.
Did
they win?
Time.
Did they win?
Hold on.
But he still went to the Super Bowl. There's only one winner.
So that's success for you? Just making it there?
Pulling it back. Yeah. But I'll just say this though. If Bill Belichick goes to the San Francisco 49ers, it'll be too much of a sideshow. However, from a Chicago perspective, shit would be super entertaining. That's it. But I don't think it's going to happen, though.
My only comment to that is look at the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, who used to be a head coach, who now has made a living being...
Romo was riding him, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Romo was riding everything except his
baby. The Niners are coming. The Niners are coming.
Cy, can I get one? Cy, way to pay attention. I saw you on your phone.
Time out.
He's doing
it. I did it. It's okay. I did it.
Hold on. So
all I have to say is...
Go ahead.
Spags was able to do it. Spags is a very similar... we can ask Nate about this later, too, because I believe Nate played for Spags at one point.
He did.
Like, Spags is a very quiet, hey, I just want to run my defense. And at this point in Bill Belichick's career, he might just want that. If he can't get, like, the full control you were talking about, who's to say he doesn't want to just go chill in sunny California, run an incredible defense with the most talented defensive roster in football, and say, hey, let's go win some Super Bowls.
I like that. I actually do like that thought, too, because... I mean, honestly, at the same time, it's like if you're not going to get a head coaching position and you're going to be a defensive coordinator, you might as well like acquiesce to like that acquiesce.
I do. That's a good word.
To whatever they got going on, though. Real quick, side note, I'm going to tangent on this real quick.
That's fine.
Okay.
We got time.
If y'all don't mind, and this might be controversial, and sorry if you want to jump in on this, you're more than welcome to. If not, that's fine too. Tony Romo actually had a pretty decent call of the Super Bowl. I'm gonna say
until the last play.
So that
well, I mean, I
didn't even hear what you said.
Good. Keep going.
No, wait. I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
I said so did I.
Sorry, I think you're right. I think I need another one.
Bruce answered my favorite rants. Keep going, Bruce.
Amen.
Amen. I agree.
But
go ahead.
But in all seriousness, though, I really do think that like Tony Romo actually had a pretty decent game for the Super Bowl because he gets an unfair.
I don't know, Jim.
Right. But I thought he did a pretty decent job.
Okay, here's my only problem with the way Tony Romo now calls games. And I think this is actually not his fault.
You do know his nuts got caught up.
Right, because they told him to stop predicting plays.
It's the coach. We can be on the show with the coach.
Yeah, I'm sure. Whatever. Bye.
Sure.
Put me on.
Sure, I'll come on the show. Yeah, Connor and I will come on. Let's go.
I like the coach. He was on WWE.
I love
Tony Romo got told basically by CBS, "Hey, stop predicting plays."
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what made him so good. He was able to break down, "Hey, this is where the da-da-da-da-da." And so now he's trying to show off after the play when it's just weird.
But you know what annoyed me? No, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think you're going to say exactly what I was about to say. Go ahead.
No, not about him. It was just about like Monday morning quarterbacks about like Tony Romo like being shit at broadcasting. But go ahead.
And I will say, like, broadcasting really is one of those things unless you've done it, and I've only done it at a very limited part, a limited, what's the word? I can't even talk now, let alone on a broadcast. I've only done it at a very limited scale, like not anywhere near the Super Bowl. If we're going to sit out here and say like players are nervous in the Super Bowl, Tony Romo had 202 million people watch that Super Bowl, the most watched broadcast in the world ever, or in America. Sorry, not in the world. I'm sure soccer stuff has more, but like I'm sure the World Cup has more. But in America, it was the most watched broadcast ever.
We're in America. No one cares.
Like, true. You're not wrong. This is the real football. I'm gonna make Bear Man mad. I'm sorry. I really don't care.
Does he like soccer?
I don't care. Yeah, he loves soccer. He's obsessed with soccer. I don't care about Caitlin Blair's record, and I don't care about soccer. And I don't care that y'all care. But like,
I don't care.
Let's go!
Yeah,
let's go.
But Tony Romo has such a hard job. But I will say, he just got nervous and he talked too much on that last play. That was my only gripe. I think they called a great game, and then on the last play, he talked too much.
Talking about that play.
You know what I loved? So all right. So speaking of that, though, the only reason why I'm able to speak to this, guys, is because I was sober. All right. So one of the
he remembers the end of the game.
No, not even that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm actually talking. There was a specific play that the Chiefs were in a cover 3 or a potentially like a high 1 set, and they rolled to a cover 2, and Romo actually like called it out and was like talking about how like, okay, so he ended up seeing it right away, and like, oh no, sorry, it was the 49ers. It was the 49ers that were in the
say that's what I was
it was the 49ers, and like it was Mahomes that read it right away. He recognized the cover 2 right away, and he threw it into the in the corner in that area in the cover 2 that's like a wide open spot. And I heard Romo like explaining about it, and I was like, dude, like everyone gives this guy so much shit, and like he actually explained it so well right there.
So good.
Yeah, part of the problem is he got hyped up so quickly as a broadcaster, and
again, it was because he just plays.
Yeah, but so he gets. You're right. He gets too much criticism. I just think honestly, this is going to be a weird comment, but like just follow me for a second. I'd love to see him do like a YouTube show or something.
Okay, so
like, I want to get him a little loosened up, like get him just free flowing, talking about football, maybe with somebody else that he's comfortable with. And I think he could really teach young people a lot more about the game of football that people don't know. Because like Kurt Benkert does an incredible job at that. And I bring that up a lot because he makes it very digestible. He uses Madden. Like he does a very good job of making it digestible for somebody who don't know as much about football.
He dumbs it down. Right.
Yes. And so I think Tony Romo could do that probably at a more advanced level than Kurt Benkert. And I think it would be really cool to watch. Now, I don't know if he would ever do that, if he can do that while he's on CBS or how that works, but I think that'd be really cool to watch.
So shout out real quick to Shay Norley from ESPN Chicago. Him and I actually had a real quick interaction about Romo. I think he'd be a great TV analyst. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy like
on the Fox halftime show.
Yeah, like I think he'd be better at that than like a play, not play by play, but
or like like how
he's better at analyzing. I'm sorry. All right, so I'm gonna put him on blast, and the fact that I'm doing it on our show could be not so good for us. But
yeah,
whatever.
don't ruin our opportunity to go see the coach.
No, I'm gonna ruin it. I don't give a shit. So this is what I do.
Jonathan Coachman.
What up, Jonathan? By the way, that's awesome. Hey, if there's a chance, let's go. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But legitimately, though, no, hold on. I think Tony Romo would be better at Dan Orlovsky's job than Dan Orlovsky is at his job.
Dan Orlovsky.
Oh yeah. See, now you're laughing because you know.
If anybody watches Dan Orlovsky, they know that take is not wild whatsoever. Like, that is actually reasonable.
All right, what you got next?
It's all football today, ladies and gents. Okay. So, this is actually interesting. I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, like,
oh my God,
what
Becky,
is
look
this?
at her butt.
This is controversy. This is controversy in Philadelphia. So the Eagles, just a little bit ago, granted edge rusher Haason Reddick, and they granted him permission to request a trade. Now, I was thinking, they were like, now this is not Haason Reddick speaking. The rumors were like, hey, Haason Reddick is mad that he feels like he should get paid more than his contract state. And I'm like, that's the point of being under contract. You will get more money after the contract's done, but you are signed for a contract for as long as you sign for that contract. It don't matter if you put up 25 sacks. If you get paid $11,000 a year and you sign that contract, you get $11,000 a year. That's how it works. That's how contracts work.
Unless there are incentives.
Unless there are incentives. But that's how contracts work. So why are you getting mad at contract structure?
You signed that shit?
You signed it. Yeah, you signed it.
You signed that shit? You fucking abide by that shit. All right, that's my one.
So, however,
you're out.
However, he posted on Twitter, now X, whatever. I still call it Twitter.
Connor's getting hyped. Let's go, Connor.
That he quote, never asked for a trade. Now, my question to you guys is, based on his contract, I think he put up 16 and a half sacks this season. Is he in a good situation in Philadelphia? And if so, why would he even think about requesting a trade in the first place?
All right, so I'm gonna take this real quick, MJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I think you're gonna look up stats and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go totally off.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
balls deep in, like, off the top of this head.
I'm talking about balls deep. I'm talking about balls.
Time out.
All right, so real quick. All right, so I appreciate the gentleman's like effort to bet on himself and call everything out and be like, yeah, no, you're not in a better position than you are with the Eagles, because that Eagles defense is absolutely absurd. It's ridiculous. The reason why you're doing so well is also because that they don't focus on you, my guy. They don't focus solely on you. You have a multitude of like players that are on that defensive line that are going to work their game. All right, so let's talk about that. All right, next thing, big picture wise. Let's go big picture wise. Let's pull the curtain back a little bit. All right, so who in that division is going to compete with the Eagles? All right, the Cowboys.
No one.
And right when Washington
who else
drafts a nice quarterback, they'll be up there, right?
But all right,
just realistically, the Cowboys.
But all I'm saying is the grass ain't always green on the other side. Sometimes you got to water your own grass, my guy. So calm down there.
Let it grow. Let it grow.
What?
You seen the Lorax?
Not enough to know the song by heart, no.
I don't know the song by heart, but I know it's called Let It Grow. And I say, let it grow.
Yeah, but you heard what I said, though. You heard what I said. I said, water your own motherfucking grass. That's two.
You're out.
Thanks, Si.
So, Haason Reddick is getting paid $15.6 million a year. He had 11 sacks this year.
But there are several players that are getting paid over $20 million, and he thinks he should be one of those players that are.
You know what? Those guys got more than 11 sacks this year.
How deep is he into his contract right now? That's what I'm saying.
This is his
last year. I think he signed a 3-year deal.
So he does. That's the other thing is he doesn't want to be playing on the last year of his contract. And I get it. But shut up. You guys were in the Super Bowl. You guys just had a chance to go to the Super Bowl again, and you wet your pants. So maybe focus on getting back to the Super Bowl and actually winning instead of complaining about your contract, where you get paid appropriately. Because you know who gets paid $20 million a year? Defensive Player of the Year.
Winners.
You know who gets paid $20 million a year? The guys who actually put up those numbers every year. And you know who isn't one of those guys? Haason Reddick.
Yeah.
So he wants his one more good contract before he gets old and before he gets slow and before he sucks. And he's probably going to get it, and he's probably not going to get it from the Eagles. So shut up, play the last year in Philadelphia, and hope you win a ring before you go to some trash team who's going to pay you too much.
Go back to Arizona, Haason Reddick, if that's where you were. Or Carolina. Wasn't he in Arizona and Carolina? Go back.
Okay, y'all are telling this dude to shut up. I'm not telling him to shut up. I'm just saying pump the brakes a little.
Oh, I'm telling him to shut up. You can tell him to pump the brakes, and I'll tell him to stop the entire car, put it in park, get out, and go work out.
Let me talk to you.
Brother might need to push the car then, I guess.
Yeah, maybe he should. Maybe he'd be a little stronger and get more than 11 sacks. Trash little man. Didn't even force a fumble all year.
Yeah, and you know what school Chris Jones went to?
He had the lowest amount of tackles in his career so far. He had his lowest amount of sacks since 2019 when he was barely even playing.
What do we got tackles for loss? What do we got tackles for loss?
Second most in his career, 13. Decent.
This year? Okay, that's
pretty good. 13 tackles for loss is really good.
That's a pretty decent fucking thing.
Yeah, that's
you're out. 2 times.
That's good, but
that's 4.
Yeah, I had to hit you twice.
That's okay. That's okay. What else you got for us, Connor?
Okay, we're still on football, and I purposely saved this for last to save it for last.
Oh,
Bruce, you're gonna get a kick out of this one.
Okay, let's fucking go.
You're out.
Oh, damn,
so
that's 5.
as of today, the Bears have saved $21.5 million in cap space.
Yep.
Now it was more, but you incur you have the dead cap, they hit a dead. I think they had the least amount of dead cap space going in before today with about 600,000.
They have the most money.
They incurred a little bit because, but they got $21.5 million freed up. So let's look at the good news. Other stuff's negligible. It doesn't matter.
Let's have some fun.
So going into the offseason, they have $21.5 million extra than they did yesterday. So they release safety Eddie Jackson and guard Cody Whitehair.
Center. 2
guys that have been in the Chicago system for over 5 years. That's right. I don't know the actual numbers, 7 maybe.
Whitehair was 8, and Eddie Jackson's been there
7 maybe
for 7, I think.
Yeah. Okay, 7 and 8,
which is fine.
My question to y'all is, and Bruce, if you want to go last, you can. If you want to go first, you can. You're a Chicago.
Oh, you know what? I'll go last as a Chicago fan.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, what does Chicago do with all this cap space? And I actually have a good answer for it. And I was telling MJ before the show.
You do, Connor.
So I'll give you the exact number. They have $66.9 million, just under $67 million. That's the exact number they get to spend.
Nice.
Think of it. The free agent market is not bad this year. It's not terrible. So they could get a couple free agents if they wanted to. I want the Saints to get Juwan Jennings because I don't know if he'll sign another deal. Nate thinks he'll sign another deal, but I want the Juwan Jennings.
Nobody cares.
So I like Juwan Jennings. Don't even, Bruce. He did good in the Super Bowl.
Hey, he threw a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yes, and he caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Only the second player to do so.
He carried Brock Purdy's dumb self.
Okay, MJ, hit him with it.
So the question is, what
do the Bears do? Do they
right?
take it to the draft? Do they take it to free agent? Do they save it? Do they re-sign people? What are they doing?
So here's what I would do, and I understand Bruce may not exactly agree with this, but just walk with me through this reasoning.
I'm walking.
I would spend more of my money on defense. And the reason being, I have seen more young offenses succeed than I have seen young defenses. Okay? And keep in mind, I still don't love the entire situation because I don't think Matt Eberflus should be the head coach. I think Ryan Poles is iffy on some of his decision-making. I think he's made some great decisions, some tough ones.
He's better than Mickey Loomis. At least he ain't sitting at negative $80 million this year.
There we go. Amen. He's at least got money to play with, right? You've seen teams in the last few years actually be able to have some pretty good success. The Baltimore Ravens being one of them this year, spending money on the defensive end and then going a little younger on the offensive end. They've got Bateman, Zay Flowers, OBJ at a cheap price. None of their running backs make a lot of money. Like, really, their offense, Lamar is pretty much the only one making money. And then all their money's on their defense. And, we talk again and again in the NFL, defense wins championships. Why did the Chiefs win? Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is incredibly good. But why did they really win? Because they were able to shut down, and Spags was able to shut down one of the most efficient offenses we've seen in years. And he was able to confuse them and mess them up and blitz them and play with them because they have done an incredible job spending money where need be, and drafting well in certain spots on defense. So I understand the Bears have already spent some money on defense with TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. Then they brought in Montez Sweat, who they extended. But I still think they have some deficiencies in that secondary. I would go spend some money on your secondary. I think your front seven, and Bruce can correct me if I'm wrong, I think your front seven is better than your secondary right now. Go spend some money in the secondary, draft some guys on the front seven, and spend your first 2 picks on offense. That's what I would do.
Right, okay, so, do you want to know who's the DB free agents are?
No,
sure, yeah.
No, not yet.
Okay.
You don't want to
You're out.
No, not yet. So, according to Spot Track or Spot Track, however you want to pronounce it, the top 10 players for the Chicago Bears in this past year for their respective cap hit for the Chicago Bears. Sweat, agree. Edmonds, agree. DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Nate Davis, DeMarcus Walker, Jay Edwards, Justin Fields, Darnell Wright, Cairo Santos. All right, Cairo Santos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so Cairo Santos is in your top 10 of players.
That means you need to go spend some money.
Okay, so no, I don't disagree with that. I don't. All right, so man, I actually had a really, really good so you reminded me of something that I actually got pissed off about earlier in the week, and I wanted to fucking talk about it, but I can't remember it now.
You're out.
Whatever, that's fine. I'm gonna continue doing it. Saying that I don't think so. First of all, Jalen Johnson needs to come back. You need to make sure you re-sign him.
I'm not talking about him.
So
I talked about him today.
What was the question that Connor asked?
Where should we spend
their money?
$9 million?
Where do they spend?
Where does that money go?
And one of his things was, do you re-sign your players? He said that. That's one of the things he said. So
yeah,
I'm answering that question. Yeah. So that being said,
no, I was just being sarcastic. I was being sarcastic because of my Jalen Johnson history. That's all that was.
So 100%. Oh, fair.
That's all that was. That's all that was.
No, okay, fair. So 100%, you re-sign him. Like that's your.
Oh, yeah.
You have to make sure you re-sign him because I actually do think PFF says number one receive. What you got, Connor? You want to come at me? What do you got here?
No. I'm waiting for you to finish before I do my spiel because I got numbers.
My guy, I'll eat you alive. All right. So that being said, especially with the Bears, dude. All right, I'm gonna research the Saints so that way I can just be like make fun of you the whole time. Okay, calm down, Jack. You ain't gonna do jack shit.
Anyway, Saints don't have money to play with, so I don't know what I can't do anything about that.
Anyways. All right, so what I would do with that money right now is right away I would re-sign Johnson immediately. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So safety wise, I'm waiting. I'm drafting a safety in the 3rd round, rookie safety in the 3rd round because that's deep. That's deep in the 3rd. Hey, if you look into the draft this year, safeties are actually really fucking good in the 3rd at 7.
Or out
in a draft. Okay, I'm cool with that. All right, we'll sit on that. Defensively, I'm not spending my money on the defensive unless I can potentially get a defensive end that might be out there to be opposite side of Sweat. All right, so we might know who that safety might be. Anyway, all right, so I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to jinx it.
I'll probably say it eventually.
Fair enough. What I would do though is I actually might end up going for a potential free agent that is on the offensive line. Okay, and this is a big offensive line free agency from what I've seen. Well, not a big, but
let's see,
a name. There is one person in particular that I've looked at, and I'm again, same thing. I'm not gonna like just jump out there and toss it out because again, I want to do my due diligence and continue researching it.
Is he a tackle, Bruce?
I know what safety you should draft, by the way.
Fair. Okay, both of you. Hold on. God, I like how you're both like. So there are two particular people that I want. No, that's not true. That's not true at all, Jack. No, I 100% disagree with that.
They're all old. You're just all old.
Yeah, and that's fine. But the window is still there. So two. All right. So it stinks. Okay, it stinks in the fact that if you look from the perspective of a window of 3 to 5 years, if you look in a window of 0 to 3 years, might be okay with it. There you go. So that being said, though, I'm not to continue on with this bullshit like rant that I'm not even a rant. It's just like a waiting, sitting, hoping. I'm gonna go safety. I'm gonna draft a safety. I'm gonna re-sign Johnson. That's what she said. I'm gonna look at free agency I'm gonna look at free agency for an offensive lineman. If they're not there, or if they are there, I'm gonna sign them, and then I'm also going to draft one. And I'm also going to look into drafting a running back, and I'm going to draft a franchise-changing quarterback.
And the only thing I will say on that at the moment, because Bruce, I'm just going to let you in. I have a question I want to ask you about that when Nate comes on later, because I have like a specific spin on it that I want a NFL player's opinion on because of like a locker room thing.
Yep.
Yes, I want to ask Nate about that. So,
yep.
The only thing I will say is, if you have only $69 million to play with, very nice. It would make way more sense to not spend 25 to 40 of them on a quarterback.
Yep. But yeah, because you're resetting. You are resetting,
especially when he's already a bad quarterback.
So, you want me to talk now? Because I got some stuff to say. Okay. Well,
hold on. I got one more thing. I have one more thing. I can't wait until the Chicago Bears trade Justin Fields to Atlanta Falcons and he lights up the Saints all the effing time. And Connor is pissing his pants, getting upset. Wow, the Chicago Bears are lighting everyone up with Caleb Williams.
I love how you say that. Okay, I love how you say that. Now, I have a scenario where that's going to be either Chicago or Atlanta. One's going to get Justin Fields and one's going to get Caleb Williams. Now, I did my mock draft today.
Oh, is this like a?
I did my mock draft today, and I started thinking. I was like, dang, do the Bears really need a quarterback? Like, is that their biggest need? So I started researching. I started watching more stuff than I already have. I was watching Mel Kiper and all sorts of stuff, and you could say if you like Mel Kiper or not, I don't care.
You actually did research?
He said, yes, I do research all the time. I literally got out of class early today, and then I just started researching for 2 hours straight.
Hold on. Before I forget, because I've been drinking beers, I want to make sure that I have to ask this question. If you drop Justin Fields on the Kansas City Chiefs, with those wide receivers and Travis Kelce and that defense, do the Kansas City Chiefs win the championship?
Super Bowl? No,
no,
he's not Patrick Mahomes. Okay, But anyways, Mel Kiper said he likes Caleb Williams and he likes Justin Fields. He could see the Bears going either way. In my mind, I think he's right. I 100% think he's right.
Okay.
I did my mock draft today. I don't have the Bears picking a quarterback first round. And you think I'm crazy. I thought about it and I said, look, they have a chance. They have a chance to get draft capital, get the best wide receiver prospect.
But you can't just rely on draft capital for years.
Hold up. Yeah, you're not relying on draft capital. You're using it, which is something the Bears have never done. They don't use their draft capital. They're trading.
Like,
you actually you have to
sustain. You have to sustain the thing year after year, though. You can't continuously have trade for 22 or.
And they're not. They're using it. But let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the numbers, Bruce. If you draft Caleb Williams, you incur that number 1 overall draft pick cap. You have to pay him however much that number 1 overall. Okay,
correct.
Okay,
well, 1 through 4 is one is a set cap. You're right.
Yes,
but it's still less than what Justin Fields would get.
Now, okay, we'll talk about Justin Fields. If there is a world where they could keep Justin Fields for 1 year and not have to, they could postpone all contract negotiations. You know what that's called, Bruce? A fifth-year option. If they were to accept, you know how much his fifth-year option's worth?
But at the same time, though, you can't look at it like that, though, because if you've already evaluated him, stop. If you've
his
already
fifth-year option is also 3 times more expensive than Caleb Williams's.
If you've
no, not that much.
Yes, it is. I just looked it up.
It's $23 million. It's $23 million.
And Caleb Williams would cost $8 million on the cap in 2024. I just looked.
Now, Bryce Young was more than $8 million.
All right, it doesn't. Regardless, it doesn't matter if the evaluation process that your scouts have already done, not only for your own internal player, but also for somebody that you may potentially bring in, is better. Then, I'm sorry, dude. The NFL is it's a business. It's a business model. I'm sorry. If what have you done for me lately? If you're not doing jack shit for me, I'm sorry. You're a nice guy. You bust your ass. First guy in, last guy out. We saw that with Trubisky. I advocated for that motherfucker all the time, saying that it's a Trubisky. This
you're
that,
out.
The other. He brought in he drove up to Hallis Hall with the freaking Toyota Camry. And they're like, oh my God.
There's nothing more Chicago than a Toyota Camry.
Apparently. But they had said, they're like, hey, sorry, buddy. You're not the answer. He threw 7 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns against the Buccaneers. And he almost broke 6. Yeah, it was 6. He almost broke that record. Everyone's like, oh my God, see. And Louis Riddick said it best. He I quote, flashes get you fired in the NFL. Flashes get you fired. What has Justin Fields done? He has shown flashes. That's all he's done. There is no consistency whatsoever. If you've shown flashes as a GM, he's like, you know what? I like this guy. I'm gonna get him back. Guess what? He's going to get your ass fired. That's the reason why Ryan Poles is in the position that he's in. That's the reason why he's going to draft Caleb Williams. That's the reason why he's going to trade Justin Fields to another team, whether that be the Steelers, whether it be the Patriots. Because at the end, again, like I said, flashes get you fired.
Connor, here's the problem with your logic.
I didn't get to finish what I was saying, but y'all can continue. I didn't put the period at the end of the sentence.
There is no period.
It's run on.
You had a fragment. It was trash.
Sorry, that was my fault.
I didn't get to
There
finish.
There are two problems. Number one,
talk about numbers.
Trading. I couldn't care less about your numbers. Numbers don't matter here. You want to know why? Because
yes,
Ryan.
Shut up. Matter.
Shut up. No, they don't. And I'm saying that. I love numbers. Numbers do not matter here. Number one, this is the only number that matters, is number one. Ryan
I hope he goes to the Patriots. He's absolute trash.
Caleb Williams? Oh, Justin Fields?
Oh, Justin Fields.
Sorry. Go ahead, MJ.
Ryan Poles cannot, as an NFL general manager, trade the number 1 overall pick 2 years in a row. That is career suicide.
That's another one.
Period.
Yeah.
There's your period.
I don't believe that.
I'm not asking you. I'm telling you.
I don't believe that. That's
okay. That's fine. I'm not asking you.
100 things that have happened that's never happened before.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not asking
you. And it wasn't ever career suicide.